So hey guys, this is your match preview for our team, Wolverhampton Wanderers, travelling all the way down to London to Selhurst Park to face Crystal Palace in the Premier League. All the stats and facts coming up. Gary O'Neill's press conference. We have the latest game from CIRCL. We have a Crystal Palace fan giving their thoughts ahead of the game, and so much more. All coming up next. So yes, Wolves fans, obviously Wolves, another big game coming up this weekend against Crystal Palace. So loads coming up in this one. I am recording this from my dad's today. We're looking after him, obviously, with the passing of my mum, and there's lots of love being sent to us, but he's still not quite ready to come on the channel, as you can understand. We have set a date for the funeral now, though, so, you know, he will be back. Just stay tuned. I know you miss him. We're going to go on to the press conference first that Gary O'Neill's been talking today. First of all, he's talked about Matheus Nunes' exit. He said, when I dealt with him before, he worked hard and we did what he did for the club. Then a big club can call in and the players want to play for Man City. We're going to move on. He was asked what changed with the Nunes situation, and he basically said the offer. At that point, it was a lot lower and we weren't going to accept. The squad will be in a better place than it was last week by the end of the window. He's been talking about the arrival of Tommy Doyle. This has not been confirmed just yet as I record this, but it's imminent. He has been seen at Compton. Expect announcement soon. He might have done if you by the time you watch this. He said he's a talented boy, well educated, football-wise. He adds quality in central midfield. Is someone who can affect the games and in the future. He's also talked about rumours of interest in Harrison Reed and Stephen Alzad. A few areas that hopefully we can strengthen, he said, before the end of the window. No other names to confirm. Happy to confirm that we're trying to do some more. O'Neill also added that the recruitment team are working extremely hard to get a balanced squad. And he said, I'm secure by the close of play tomorrow, which is Friday evening, 11 p.m, 1st of September, we'll be happy with what we've been done. Looking ahead to the game, on respect for Roy Hodgson, he said to be an elite manager and work at the top level as long as he has, I have unbelievable respect to him. And he's also talked about the new signing, Enzo Gonzalez. He said the 18-year-old winger has a lot of talent, adding his work ethic and all the footage I've seen. He has a real desire to impact the game. He's young with plenty of time for progression. Before we look at some stats and facts, more team news, and of course our prediction for this game, don't forget to make sure that you download the fantastic CIRCL app. We had a couple of winners last week, which was fantastic. Their 5 match millions will start on Friday night. These are the fixtures that are up for that. It's £2 to get in, and you could win up to £1 million. You do win money even if you only get one fixture right. So download the app in the link in the description below. Let's hear what Luke from Palace on Toto Football podcast has to say from the Palace point of view.
Hello Dave and fellow Wolves fans out there. This weekend is Crystal Palace beat Wolves. I am Luke Weezer-Seychelles. I've got a Palace podcast, Let's Talk Palace, on Toto Football, and I'll be previewing a bit of the game ahead of this weekend. For me, I think Palace are clearly the favourites, but it's definitely a 6-pointer. Both sides need to just push themselves a little bit further away at the start of the season to make sure they're not too dragged into that relegation battle. Obviously, big news is Wolves are losing Nunes, and I think that's huge for Crystal Palace. That's a really big blow for you guys. I think for us, it's all about, can we unlock Eberechi Eze, and whether you guys can mark him well enough. I think he's going to be the key. Obviously, we've also got Jordan Ayew with a couple of assists this season. He's doing well. Edouard scored a couple of goals. So we've got some really good attackers. Defensively, we look pretty solid, only conceding 2 goals this season. So, you know, it's still looking good. I'm thinking Palace is going to come out on top. I'm thinking Eze is going to get a goal. I do think we'll win 2-0 or 2-1. It'll be really interesting to see how you guys start. Obviously, you also have Sean Derry as your assistant manager now. So good luck with that. We'll see how it does. He kind of got put on gardening leave last season due to a falling out with Vieira, so that was interesting. Let's hope nothing like that happens with Gary O'Neill. Really decent appointment, I think. He can get you a bit out of that relegation zone. It's going to be really tough for you guys due to the limited amount of money you can spend and the squad you have lost so far in this transfer window. But I think you're going to give us a really, really good game. As I said, I think 2-0, Palace coming out on top. We just look good as a squad at the moment, and our home form under Hodgson since he returned has been really, really good. So yeah, as I said, 2-0. Good luck for the rest of the season, but I think you're not going to get any points this weekend.
Thanks ever so much for Luke's thoughts on that. Do you agree with him? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let's go on to some stats and facts before you give my score prediction on this one. Interesting, Wolves have lost 5 matches against Crystal Palace since their return to the top flight in 2018. They've only lost more games against Liverpool 9, City 7 and Man United 6 than they have against Crystal Palace. Interestingly, both Wolves' goals this season have been scored by subs, Sasha Kalajic and Wang Hee-chan. The starting players have had 35 shots, 7 on target, which is an XG of 4.5 without scoring, while the substitutes have only had 1 fewer shot on target, 6 in appearances than the players in the starting 11 for Wolves. No player has had more shots in the Premier League this season than Palace's Eze with 16, although he has failed to score with all 16 shots. Maybe he should come and play for Wolves. It's the most shots the player has had without scoring in the first 3 games of a season since Harry Kane 2017-18 season, which was a total of 24. He went on to score 30 goals that campaign. Maybe not, because he might score against us. Let's hope he continues that run against us. So finally, what we're going to be looking at the weekend. Well, let's hope we continue the goal scoring that we had against Blackpool. That certainly would have helped. We've won 2 on the bounce in obviously in Cup and League. It's going to be a tough trip to Palace. It's a long old drive down there. But let's hope we can get something. If we can come away there with a 1-1 draw, I'll be happy. If we can nick it again, even happier. I'm hoping we can get there and get something. I'm going to go with a 1-1. But hope, fingers crossed, for a 2-1 coming away from Selhurst Park. Make sure you subscribe, because we will, of course, have reactions straight after the game. And, of course, we do have the famous match vlog, international reaction, and, of course, extra time following the game. Until then, I'm Dazzling Dave, always Wolves.